Yeshayahu, or Isaiah, chapter 49. Listen to me, O coastlands, and hear, you peoples from afar. YHVH has called me from the womb. From my mother's belly he has caused my name to be remembered, and he made my mouth like a sharp sword in the shadow of his hand. He hid me and made me a polished shaft. In his quiver he hid me. And he said to me, You are my servant, O Israel, in whom I am adorned. And I said, I've labored in vain. I've spent my strength for emptiness and in vain. But my right ruling is with YHVH, and my work with my Elohim. And now said YHVH, who formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Yaakov back to him, though Israel is not gathered to him. Yet I am esteemed in the eyes of YHVH, and my Elohim has been my strength. And he says, Shall it be a small matter for you to be my servant, to raise up the tribes of Yaakov, and to bring back the preserved ones of Israel? And I shall give you as a light to the nations, to be my deliverance to the ends of the earth. Thus said YHVH, the Redeemer of Israel, their set-apart one, to the despised, to the loathed one of the nation, to the servant of rulers. Sovereigns shall see and arise. Rulers shall also bow themselves because of YHVH, who is steadfast, the set-apart one of Israel, and he has chosen you. Thus said YHVH, in a favorable time I shall answer you, and in the day of deliverance I shall help you, and I guard you and give you for a covenant of the people, to restore the earth, to cause them to inherit the ruined inheritances, to say to the prisoners, Go out. To those who are in darkness, show yourselves. Let them feed on the ways, and let their pasture be on all bare hills. They shall not hunger nor thirst, neither heat nor sun strike them, for he who has compassion on them shall lead them, even by fountains of water guide them. And I shall make my mountains a way, and my highways raised up. See, these come from far away, and see, those from the north and the west, and these from the land of Sinim. Sing, O heavens, rejoice, O earth, and break out in singing, O mountains, for YHVH shall comfort his people and have compassion on his afflicted one. But Zion says, YHVH has forsaken me, and YHVH has forgotten me. Would a woman forget her nursing child and not have compassion on the son of her womb? And though they forget, I never forget you. See, I've inscribed you on the palms of my hands. Your walls are always before me. Your sons shall hurry, your destroyers and those who laid you waste depart from you. Lift up your eyes round about and see, all of them gather together and come to you. As I live, declares YHVH, you shall put on all of them as an ornament, and bind them on you as a bride does. For your wastes and your deserted places and the land of your destruction shall soon be too narrow for the inhabitants, while those who swallowed you up are far away. The sons of your bereavement shall yet say in your ears, The place is too narrow for me, make room for me to live. And you shall say in your heart, Who has brought forth these for me, since I am bereaved and barren, an exile, and wandering to and fro? And who reared them? See, I was left alone. From where did these come? Thus says the Master YHVH, See, I lift up my hand to the nations, and set up my banner for the peoples, and they shall bring your sons in their arms, and your daughters carried on their shoulders, and sovereigns shall be your foster fathers, and their sovereignesses your nursing mothers. They bow down to you with their faces to the earth and lick up the dust of your feet. And you shall know that I am Yehovah. Those who wait for me shall not be ashamed. Is prey taken from the mighty and the captives of the righteous delivered? Yet, thus says Yehovah, even the captives of the mighty are taken away, and the prey of the ruthless is delivered. I strive with him who strives with you, and I save your children. And I shall feed those who oppress you with their own flesh, and let them drink their own blood as sweet wine. All flesh shall know that I, Yehovah, am your Savior and your Redeemer, the mighty one of Yaakov. Thus says Yehovah, where is the certificate of your mother's divorce, whom I've put away? Or which of my creditors is it to whom I've sold you? Look, you were sold for your crookedness, and your mother was put away for your transgressions. When I came, why was there no man? When I called, why was there no one to answer? Was my hand too short to ransom, or have I no power to deliver? See, by my rebuke I dry up the sea. I make the rivers a wilderness. Their fish stink, for there's not water, and die of thirst. I clothe the heavens with darkness, and I make sackcloth their covering. The Master Yehovah has given me the tongue of taught ones, that I should know to help the weary with a word. He wakes me morning by morning. He wakes my ear to hear as taught ones. The Master Yehovah has opened my ear, and I was not rebellious, nor did I turn away. I gave my back to those who struck me, and my cheeks to those who plucked out the beard. I did not hide my face from humiliation and spitting. And the Master, Yehovah, helps me. Therefore I shall not be humiliated. So I have set my face like flint, and I know that I am not put to shame. Near is he who declares me right. Who would contend with me? Let us stand together. Who is my adversary? Let him come near me. See, the Master Yehovah helps me. Who would declare me wrong? See, all of them wear out like a garment. A moth eats them. Who among you is fearing Yehovah, obeying the voice of his servant that has walked in the darkness and has no light? Let him trust in the name of Yehovah and lean upon his Elohim. See, all you who light a fire, girding on burning arrows, walk in the light of your fire, and in the burning arrows you have lit. From my hand you shall have this. You shall lie down in grief. Chapter 51. Listen to me, you who pursue righteousness, seeking Yehovah. Look to the rock you were hewn from, and to the hole of the pit you were dug from. Look to Abraham, your father, and to Sarah who bore you. For he was alone when I called him, and I blessed him and increased him. For Yehovah shall comfort Zion. He shall comfort all her waste places. For he makes her wilderness like Eden, and her desert like the garden of Yehovah. Joy and gladness are found in it, thanksgiving and the voice of song. Listen to me, my people, and give ear to me, O my nation, for the Torah goes forth from me, and my right ruling I set as a light to peoples. My righteousness is near, my deliverance shall go forth, and my arms judge peoples. Coastlands, wait upon me, and for my arm they wait expectantly. Lift up your eyes to the heavens and look on the earth beneath, for the heavens shall vanish like smoke, and the earth wear out like a garment, and those who dwell in it die as gnats. But my deliverance is forever, and my righteousness is not broken. Listen to me, you who know righteousness, a people in whose heart is my Torah. Do not fear the reproach of men, nor be afraid of their rivalings. For a moth eats them like a garment, and a worm eats them like wool. But my righteousness is forever, and my deliverance to all generations. Awake, awake, put on strength, O arm of Yehovah. Awake as in days of old, everlasting generations. Was it not you who cut Rahab apart and pierced the crocodile? Was it not you who dried up the sea, the waters of the great deep, who made the depths of the sea a way for the redeemed to pass over? And let the ransomed of Yehovah return, and they shall come to Zion with singing, with everlasting joy on their heads. Let them attain joy and gladness. Sorrow and sighing shall flee away. I am he who comforts you. Who are you that you should be afraid of man that dies, and the Son of Man who's made like grass? And you have forgotten Yehovah your Maker, who stretched out the heavens and laid the foundations of the earth, and you continually fear all the day because of the rage of the oppressor, as he has prepared to destroy. And where is the rage of the oppressor? Bowed, he hastens to be loosened, that he should not die in the pit, and that his bread should not fail. But I am Yehovah your Elohim, stirring up the sea, and its waves roar. Yehovah of hosts is his name, and I have put my words in your mouth, and with the shadow of my hand I have covered you, to plant the heavens and lay the foundation of the earth, and to say to Zion, you are my people. Awake, awake yourself, rise up, O Yerushalayim, you who have drunk at the hand of Yehovah the cup of his wrath. You've drunk the dregs of the cup of reeling and drained it out. Of all the sons she bore, she has none to guide her, and of all the sons she's brought up, none is strengthening her hand. Both of these are coming upon you. Who is sorry for you? Ruin and destruction, scarcity of food and sword. How shall I comfort you? Your sons have fainted. They lie at the head of the streets like a gazelle in a net. They're filled with the wrath of Yehovah, the rebuke of your Elohim. Therefore, please hear this, you afflicted and drunk, but not with wine. Thus said your master Yehovah and your Elohim, who pleads the cause of his people. See, I shall take out of your hand the cup of reeling, the dregs of the cup of my wrath. Never again shall you drink it. And I shall put it into the hand of those who afflict you, who've said to your being, bow down and we pass over you. And you made your back like the ground and as the street to walk over. Chapter 52. Awake, awake. Put on your strength, O Zion. Put on your garments of splendor, O Yerushalayim, the set-apart city. For no more do the uncircumcised and the unclean come into you. Shake yourself from the dust. Arise and sit down, O Yerushalayim. Loose yourself from the bonds of your neck, O captive daughter of Zion. For thus said Yehovah, you've been sold for naught, and you are redeemed not with silver. For thus said the Master, Yehovah, at first my people went down to Mitzrayim to sojourn there, and Asher oppressed them without cause. And now, what have I here, declares Yehovah, that My people are taken away for naught. Those who rule over them make them wail, declares Yehovah. My name is despised all day continually. Therefore, my people shall know my name in that day, for I am the one who is speaking. See, it is I. How pleasant upon the mountains are the feet of him who brings good news, who proclaims peace, who brings good news, who proclaims deliverance, who says to Zion, your Elohim reigns. The voice of your watchmen, they shall lift up their voices. Together they shout for joy, because eye to eye they see the return of Yehovah to Zion. Break forth into joy, sing together, you waste places of Jerusalem. For Yehovah shall comfort his people. He shall redeem Jerusalem. Yehovah shall lay bare his set-apart arm in the eyes of all the nations, and all the ends of the earth shall see the deliverance of our Elohim. Turn aside, come out from there, touch not the unclean, come out of our midst, be clean, you who bear the vessels of Yehovah. For you shall not come out in haste, nor go in flight. For Yehovah is going before you, and the Elohim of Israel is your rear guard. See, my servant shall work wisely. He shall be exalted and lifted up and very high. As many were astonished at you, so the disfigurement beyond any man's, and his form beyond the sons of men. He shall likewise startle many nations. Sovereigns shut their mouth at him. For what had not been recounted to them, they shall see, and what they had not heard, they shall understand. In chapter 53. Who has believed our report, and to whom was the arm of Yehovah revealed? For he grew up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of dry ground. He has no form nor splendor that we should look upon him, nor appearance that we should desire him. Despised and rejected by men, a man of pains and knowing sickness, and as one from whom the face is hidden, being despised, and we did not consider him. Truly, he's borne our sicknesses and carried our pains. Yet we reckoned him smitten, stricken by Elohim, and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our crookednesses. The chastisement for our peace was upon him, and by his stripes we're healed. We all, like sheep, went astray. Each one of us is turned to his own way, and Yehovah has laid on him the crookedness of us all. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, but he did not open his mouth. He was led as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before its shearers is silent, but he did not open his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment, and as for his generation, who considered that he shall be cut off from the land of the living? For the transgression of my people he was stricken, and he was appointed a burial site with the wrong and with the rich at his death, because he had done no violence, nor was deceit in his mouth. But Yehovah was pleased to crush him. He laid sickness on him, that when he made himself an offering for guilt, he would see a seed. He would prolong his days, and the pleasure of Yehovah prosper in his hand. He would see the result of the suffering of his life and be satisfied. Through his knowledge, my righteous servant makes many righteous, and he bears their crookedness. Therefore I give him a portion among the great, and he divides the spoil with the strong, because he poured out his being unto death, and he was counted with the transgressors, and he bore the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors.